Hi, Huey. All right, we are back at Hades 1. We're going to be taking the aspect of Poseidon.
Forge created you.
We're going to take the Zeus Keepsake. Now, in the last episode, I said that I might not do this because we had done the exact same build I'm planning today on the Achilles Spear, but my recompense for that factor is we are going to attempt a 32 heat run on the sword. Now, what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to take damage control. I'm going to maybe take one less level of force overtime. I think I'll be okay with one extra level of tight deadline. Maybe approval process, but I don't think I want to do that. Maybe I take a level of each of these and one calisthenics program. Yeah, I guess I'll take a level of calisthenics program. Don't really want that. All right, but anyway, 2 levels of hard labor, 2 levels of lasting consequences, maxing out convenience fee, jury summons, 3 levels of extreme measures, 1 level of calisthenics program, benefits package, middle management, underworld customs, forced overtime. We're only going to take 1 level of Titan security and 1 level of tight deadline.
What could go wrong?
Our goal is to get Zeus's cast and stack it up as much as possible.
You wish to meet your Uncle Zeus someday? Imagine me with a luxurious white mane without a modicum of self-control. That's your Zeus.
I really liked how he delivered those last 2 lines. You could feel the distaste that Hades has for his brother. But yes, I do want to meet my brother. I do want to meet Zeus.
You have a clever mother in Persephone, a very clever mother, and a lordly father. They make quite the team, that's evident.
I appreciate that.
True rivals for Hera and me.
I appreciate that Zeus is offering Hades compliments while Hades is just tearing the god apart. Anyway, so early on, the cast is going to feel pretty darn strong here. If I recall, it one-shots most enemies. This is going to be one of the scariest rooms we can be offered because any multi-witch room just becomes overwhelming very quickly if you do not kill them. Thankfully, it looks like we are wiping them out relatively quickly. It seems like the cast does thankfully one-shot them once the armor is broken. As far as what we're aiming for, of course we want to stack as much Zeus as physically possible, as that will give us the best chance of really making this cast scale into infinity. Beyond that, we also want to stack as much Artemis as possible because she can give us cast gems, crit chance, and lightning rod will also very much help carry the run. I want to avoid dashing onto those spike traps that I am very prone to hitting. Athena this early is great for us because Athena will give us her dash and potentially refunds of death defiances when we inevitably waste them on very silly things like running face first into traps, which I guarantee will take at least 1 death defiance off of us on this run. The other thing we definitely want to see from Artemis is exit wounds. Exit wounds will deal damage every time our cast gem is removed from an enemy, and that offers us a fair bit of damage.
Goddess Athena.
It was my privilege to have visited your father's house and briefly had a chance to meet you, Zagreus. Nyx and your mother each are very shrewd. Perhaps you've taken after both of them. As for your new responsibilities, exposing weak points and defenses is my specialty.
I would love it if rather than exposing a weak point, you provide a defense for mine. But anyway, looking at her hat, is that hair? Or is that just like a fancy decal? I think it's a decal, but all right, we'll take a Divine Dash. Excellent.
The backup.
And hey, another level of Zeus. Excellent. So as soon as we get Static Discharge, we have a really good starting out position for this build, especially if we can get Lightning Rod on top of it. It will significantly benefit our overall DPS.
I accept this message.
And Storm Lightning, not what we're looking for, but we will take that because that makes it so we can potentially get Zeus's legendary boon, which will basically double our damage pretty much, at least early on. HP, coin, or a Zeus Athena. I think I take this because Zeus could potentially give us another good boon. Trials are super sketchy in 32 heat runs just because they take a lot of time.
This pleases me.
And they, oh wow, we got an epic level jolted. That's huge. That's pretty much a double damage effect for us right now.
I knew there was a possibility that you would side against me once again, but your doing so never ceases to amaze, cousin.
She sounds very upset. Just a tad bit more than miffed. Anyway, so
I can't.
Athena, as far as like Athena goes in terms of threat of trial, she's one of the more manageable ones outside of maybe Tartarus and Elysium. I guess the issue with Athena is that she makes her enemies invulnerable to damage if she hits them with her little or a little AoE. Against faster enemies, especially when you're on higher levels of tight deadline, or not tight deadline, on higher levels of, why can't I dash through that? Okay. On higher levels of forced overtime, she is effectively kind of just unthreatening altogether, because most enemies that she tries to enhance dash out of her effects.
I'm out.
But these enemies, because we're only on like the second level of forced overtime, or only on the first level of forced overtime, and all the armor they have, the HP they have, makes them actually surprisingly much more threatening. But the fact that they're slow also means that they're very easy to just kite out with projectiles. So I'm not actually that threatened by them after all. You mostly just waste time, and that's about it. Plus, because we got these splitting enemies, there's a reasonable chance that she's targeting the clones instead of me, or instead of the one that I'm actively DPSing. The one downside is I've just decided to take all of my damage now. There we go, okay. Ooh, that lasted forever, jeez.
Your father also made some questionable choices, Zagreus. But all of us are family after all.
Glad you feel that way. We will take Blinding Flash, I guess, so that we can... That'll give us status privilege really early. Yeah, we're definitely taking that. Now, we will take the Chaos Gate here because we could potentially get cast damage. We could potentially get rerolls, or not rerolls. We could potentially get...
At a fishing point.
More cast gems, which would benefit our build significantly.
That's a Progelli.
That said, if we're not offered that, I'd be happy to take some HP.
When you expire and then suddenly return to life within your father's residence, perhaps it is akin to when I first gained consciousness so long ago. Perhaps I too had just expired only to reawaken.
An interesting thought. Alright, increased rarity on boons, increased damage from casting, attacking from behind, and special damage. I have 2 rerolls, but I feel like I should save this for guaranteeing things from Artemis and Athena. So, this is a tough decision. I think I'm going to take the no coin for the next 3 encounters, but then I have increased rarity. Because some higher rarity calls... Ugh, Aphrodite. I really didn't want to see Aphrodite on this run. She does not offer us much in the way of anything I particularly want.
Come try and sneak.
So, oh well. I guess we don't really get a choice. And I guess getting weak effect on enemies will make us a little bit more reliable against them in terms of surviving hits. But she's probably going to be a boon we sell eventually if given the option to do so. There we go. Made short work of that sneak,
See
thankfully.
you next time.
To think your father and that sweet Persephone, they were together down there all along. I was so certain that your father's heart was gold. That's just the thing with love, dearest, that sometimes it surprises even me.
Yes, yes, we get it. You're the goddess of love. I guess we'll just take different league for the damage reduction it gives us for nearby enemies. Most of the damage I'm taking tends to be either from... Well, there are only 2 options, projectiles or melee hits, but I am very prone to melee hits, I suppose. Yeah, we'll just take different league and hopefully sell it later on. This nectar is going to be very sadly... I want this nectar to end up where I would most benefit from it, but I know how things tend to go, so more than likely it will end up on either our dash or that vengeance... Not vengeance, the, different league that, we just got. Blinding Flash, okay, that's not terrible. We take the shop here for the sake of saving time. Because there's no encounter, therefore you can get through the shop very quickly. Not going to take another Aphrodite, I'm not going to take the Charon encounter. A Pomegranate is pretty nice though, we'll get that on our cast and it'll give us a nice little bump up in probably about 20-30 damage maybe. It feels like it's less often, but I'm so used to when I do stack this build, I usually just see it on diminishing returns, or giving diminishing returns on...
Can't do that.
On later levels.
More coming.
Whenever I might be mixing it up with the attack, honestly. The attack has such a small increase in damage output overall.
Not now.
It's fine though. I honestly think that this run will go just fine. At this point, at least. All bets are off. RNG could be ever a cruel mistress, as it often is. But the fact that we have Jolted, we have an epic level Jolted, we have a pretty strong cast, and we have Athena's dash. Really, at this point, all we could ask for is some good damage off of Athena, or Artemis rather, and we're set. I think for now I will take the base damage on the cast, and we'll take the key here for the extra reroll. That'll afford me at least one reroll with Chaos, potentially.
Out of my way.
All those extra bounces on the chain cast is pretty wild. What is it called? Like, chain... I've already forgotten. But it's just bouncing left and right. The main thing I want to focus on doing is just taking extra care to keep track of where my cast gems end up, which can be very tricky because they're flying all over the place, and in bigger room chambers like this, they kind of wind up wherever they please, honestly. And most commonly, they do not end up stuck to an enemy where Exit Wounds would benefit us, which is that's the biggest potential downside to the Zeus cast, is that you can't reliably get it stuck into enemies all the time. And that does make for some unreliable exit wound potential. Well said, Charon. So I'm a little worried that Dionysus and Aphrodite are trying to force their way into this run, and I have no interest in either of them.
Waiting, ladies.
Your weapon's looking rather dull there, Zagreus. Great Daedalus decided not to grace you with his gifts this time around.
No, I decided not to grace Daedalus with my presence.
Now that you mention it, he hasn't, no. Though I'm prepared to say I don't need special augmentations to get past you.
Oh, we can put that to the test right now.
Because we are so focused on our cast in this build, I really don't actually care about Daedalus hammers at all. The only thing that I could stand to potentially gain is maybe, and this is a maybe, double Nova from that affects the special, makes it hit twice. And it's not really that I want it, it's just that, like, of all the hammers that could be offered, it's probably the one I stand to lose the most, or not lose that much from taking.
Requesting backup now.
I've already got a bunch of backup, Meg. The only backup you're ever going to see that is actually worth recognizing is probably Thanatos, and we're not there yet, although I know what happens.
That time's running out.
Oh, gosh. I didn't realize I was running low on time. Okay, gotta focus on DPSing then. There we go.
Every time.
Alright, so that was a pretty slow Tartarus, which sets us up kind of poorly for Asphodel. I'll have to be a little bit more mindful of the time that we're taking. I think that trial really cost us a whole lot of time, because that one took forever. Alright, so we're going to take Adamant Arrowhead for the sake of seeing more Artemis here.
Which to choose?
No, not interested in any of that. And, oh, what do I have to sell here? I think we sell differently, honestly. I'd rather keep Blinding Flash for the sake of keeping status privilege going on enemies. Although I'm not guaranteed to have it up unless I dash through them. The fact that I can choose to put it on them if I need to for the added damage is pretty significant. Plus, if they're the melee type of enemies, I'm going to be hitting them often enough. Some HP here is very welcome, so I will very gladly take that sort of a boon. If I can find the enemies that will give it. Come on.
Not yet.
Not a fan of these, whatever they're called, the big stone gargoyle head type things. I know they're not gargoyles, but still, they're just very good at wasting time because they don't want to ever land near me. Or it's so easy to accidentally like avoid them out of habit, and then they don't spawn in. There's Artemis right away. Okay, we'll get her.
Let's get out
so
of here.
Exit Wounds is the biggest boon to get from her that I want to see. Pressure Points is good. Those two will set us up in line for her legendary, which is what we stand to gain the most from directly. But also Lightning Rod is really valuable, so I want to see an attack or a special from her as well. I'd probably favor the attack. The reason for that is, since we have Athena in the pool, I wouldn't mind Athena's special as an alternative, because it will give us a fair bit of damage. Oh my goodness, there are so many projectiles happening here. But just having an additional method of safely deflecting enemy attacks, always useful.
My senses sure are going to be sharp if I keep trying to keep up with you like this and all that dark down there.
Let's see, attack, special, or aid. So, her call is decent, but I think I'll favor a Zeus call if possible. So, I'll take her attack. That'll set us up for potentially getting Lightning Rod, which I'm very happy to receive. Once again, we take the mid shop here. It can offer Artemis, it can offer Zeus, and most importantly, it offers us a time save that the Palm Chamber would not have. Ooh, another Artemis indeed.
I can use this.
Hunter's Mark. Not my ideal what I'd want in this exact moment, but it's never a wrong time to take Hunter's Mark. Increased chances of critting is always very welcome. Now comes from a mini boss set that I absolutely do not enjoy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kite this guy here, drop Sisyphus on them, and there we go. That does a whole lot of damage to them very quickly. I feel like the biggest issue I have with these guys is I'm just so prone to getting hit by the shockwave from the benefits package this mini boss gets. But thankfully we took him out, I think, by reflecting the Gorgon Head's projectiles there, which is pretty good for us.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, and there is her special. I will very gladly take that. Does potentially put us in line for duos with Artemis that I don't want. I always forget what it's called, but the Artemis-Athena duo never really feels that great to me. Although actually, it would affect our cast, so it would be potentially pretty decent here, admittedly. Hermes also a welcome guest to this party. We want dashes more than anything, I would say. And if not dashes, then anything that benefits our cast will be great to see. I think the thing I want most from Artemis right now is exit wounds, because that'll set us up for her legendary and it'll give us a huge bit of damage potential. The nice thing also that I will say about this build is now that we have an epic level Jolted, we are doing a lot of damage to enemies just by tagging them once with the special, even if it doesn't kill them. And then or not the special, the cast. One tick of the cast and we already have a whole bunch of damage that they will deal to themselves just by trying to do their basic programmed function. That said, this is definitely a situation where we just ask for more every chance we can get more.
Some members of the family up here, I know they haven't helped at all, but just don't take it personal or anything, all right? Think of it this way, you've got more of us getting along and talking properly than I have ever seen.
I appreciate that sentiment. So yeah, we'll take Greatest Reflex, 1 extra dash, gives us a whole lot of survivability. Here is once again another trial. And this is where I have to really consider my options, because Asphodel gives us a chance to get some extra time that we will very much need against Hades, but setting us in line for better Artemis boons does sound really good. I'm going to risk it. I am going to risk it. We take Artemis first, deal with Athena. This is a area where we're going to see less tanky enemies, which means we'll probably be able to burst them down much quicker than in Tartarus, but I don't know for sure.
Pick won't be pleased.
And there's pressure points. I guess, yeah, we'll take pressure points because that makes it so we can get her legendary now.
If this is your idea of humor, Zagreus, then I shall make it clear to you again that I am unamused.
She does not sound happy about our decisions, but I am confident with my choices. Yeah. Starting off with the Drakens is definitely manageable for Athena. We're killing them faster than they kill us, I think. I'm going to actually pop a Sisyphus here for the sake of the HP he can bring. I was taking a little bit more damage than I would have liked there. I'm gonna pick these up so they can't interfere. Oh gosh. More of these Draken heads though. There are so many. So many projectiles. Try and take out these Gorgon heads, but oh my goodness, Kiwi. Wait, we have the special, I forgot. I can reflect a whole bunch of these projectiles now in between having my dash down. Which I kind of need to do considering I cannot actually hit anything. Gosh. They attack so fast. Oh wow, they did get me. Like,
I don't think
so many projectiles are so scary. Even with all the Athena we've been granted, it is just hard to reliably DPS and dodge all of the things coming at me. Where even is it? There it is. Oh, Athena, would you like to refund?
I would very much prefer to think we both know better than to let old grudges stew forever, Zagreus.
Would you like to refund that Death Defiance that you just stole from us? Deathless Stand. Your Death Defiance makes you impervious longer and replenishes one use. Thank you, Athena.
Divine protection.
Maybe I should have held on to that in the chance that I needed it for... Okay, I think this is the end shop. I'm actually going to buy this... No, I want to save my money for a potential God boon here. HP or shop. Could set us up for Lightning Rod. I forget if we need 250 or 280 coin. I think it's 280. So we probably can't afford what's showing up in the shop. I think I take the HP here. I may be mistaken about my math here. It would be helpful if I paid attention and learned, but I think a little bit of HP doesn't hurt here in this instance, honestly. And we should be able to burst Lernie very quickly with the build we've got rolling now.
I'm back, Lernie, to kill you once again.
Would love to see a couple extra palm levels on our cast and on our oh gosh, our jolted effect, but I'd say pretty well off. We've got some reasonable amount of damage. If I could hit this enemy, I could hit you. There we go. Okay, I didn't actually hit you with the special there. There we go. May I have my gems back, please, Lernie? Lernie, please? No? Alright, fire. Fair enough. Would really, really enjoy getting exit wounds, though. I'm feeling the, I am feeling the lack of damage. Also, the lack of cast gem is noticeable. There we go. Okay, that's 2 heads down. Now we get the 3rd. And now we've got all our cast gems back to kind of knock this main head out. Fortunately, he caught us in our animation, so there wasn't much I could do to avoid that. Oh dear, oh dear, oh goodness me. I should not be in melee range of Lernie's head at any point. But I need to be to get my... you know what we need? We need a Daedalus Hammer that makes our special just a larger AoE. That's what we needed.
Not now.
That, or realistically speaking, what we need is... honestly, I think I might have to pop Sisyphus here. Oh, well, too late. At least I'm invulnerable for some period of time, so I'm going to dash in, except that I can't get hit by the lava, and try and wipe out these heads. Alright, that head's done. Now I'm just going to kind of blind shoot these into the area where I know there are some heads. Alright, that's another one done. And this should be the last one. There we go. Perfect. So we've just got the final phase of Lernie to go. Tossed all my casts in. Hit him with that. Know he's going to come in for a chin bash. Bail out. And start tossing casts again. Dash in. Hit him with the special. Alright, I think we got him. Probably could have used Sisyphus in this fight, but at the point of losing my Death Defiance, it was too little too late.
Enough.
Still feel like we're significantly lacking in damage potential, but on the bright side, we have gotten a lot of what we need. We just need kind of... I honestly think all we need at this point is Lightning Rod. Unfortunately, whether the game decides to give that to us or not is to be seen. I could force I guess I force Athena just in case we need another Death Defiance, but her call would be nice, I suppose. Or I could take some defensive options to make the heroes fight a little bit easier, so I guess maybe that's better. Yeah, I guess I'll take Evergreen Acorn and use it as a defensive tool against the heroes. A little less damage taken by them means a little bit more survival in the long run.
Need these.
Fortunately, we did not get any of the boons that I would particularly favor selling here. I could try and re-roll and then sell... Honestly, what would I sell? Hunter's Mark, probably. I think Storm Lightning is honestly a reasonable one to sell, but that does make us potentially lose our ability to get the Zeus Legendary. That would really help our damage. I don't want to give up our chance for Lightning Rod, though, so I do think, unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell Storm Lightning or reroll here, and I could sell Athena Special. Yeah, you know what? I think Storm Lightning is probably our best option here. The reason for that is, honestly, the extra bounces make it more harder to keep track of where the cast gems end up in the long run. Yeah, we'll take that. Or we'll give that up for now.
Got it.
You can always get it again. I'm just sad that I won't be able to get Zeus's Legendary as reliably. I think we need either Double Strike or Chain Lightning for it, or Storm Lightning for it to be an option. Well, actually, let me check. Let me see. What else can unlock your Legendary, Zeus? Let's see. Splitting Bolt, Storm Lightning, High Voltage. So yeah, or none of those are particularly great for us, honestly. Or it's not likely we're going to see Double Strike, or it's not likely we're going to see... oh gosh. High Voltage. Since we're not running a Thunderbolt build, we're running a Chain Lightning build, so Storm Lightning is really the only option we could have for even potentially seeing his duo. That's fine. Would very much like to see another Artemis boon somewhere on this stage. I do fear that our damage is still a fair bit lacking, unfortunately, but I'll have to be mindful of how I approach these enemies, because I'm not killing them instantly, that's for sure. I'm also taking a lot of damage because I'm not killing them instantly. And I have to keep in mind that I am already down a Death Defiance as well. I could use the room traps to my advantage, like this one.
Not yet.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of enemies. Just awakened. I've walked into a hornet's nest, Kiwi. Oh my goodness. Their attacks come out so fast too, but even with one level of forced overtime. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling that forced overtime. I really am. Oh well. We will make this work to the best of our abilities and suffer the consequences when we cannot. I think no matter what, we need to see a Patroclus in this run. If we don't see Patroclus, I think the run is shot. No problem. Honestly. Okay, quick reload. We will take that for sure. Greater Haste might be the more damage if we can get Rush Delivery, but it's not guaranteed. We'll take the Palm because we can put that on either Jolted or the Cast and see pretty good returns on it, I believe. On the bright side, we are at the point of two-shotting most of these witches, if they try to attack us, I suppose. Otherwise, it's a three-shot. We do have the dash to potentially up our damage potential too. Potentially up our potential. So a probability of a probability. Doesn't sound great. At the end of the day, no matter what, I have to play well. And I may or may not succeed in that goal. I do have to remember where possible to dash through enemies so that I can apply status privilege with the blinding flash exposed debuff. But I'm a little worried that that's going to be harder said than done.
Delicious.
Or harder done than said. Also, we were not offered any of the boons that I was looking for, so I guess we'll just level up the special, because that is at least some of our core damage at this point. Eye of Lamia will give us potential HP gain. I think I take that just because I am hurting a bit. And we will take the mid shop here because I am not fighting through a hammer chamber. Let's see. There's a Zeus boon. Okay, gladly take that.
Cheers, mate.
Lightning Rod. Oh, that is huge for us, Kiwi. Okay, that's going to up our damage substantially. And then given the choice between Aphrodite or a hammer, I think I'd actually take the hammer here. Although Aphrodite could give us increased HP gains from Centaur Hearts, which would be decent for us, admittedly. But I think I'm okay with this.
Pest.
I think we are going to be depending on a lot of Lightning Rod damage here, but that's the thing. I don't have to try to depend on Lightning Rod damage. It just, it carries the run sometimes. Because I pop them out with my special, and then they're just doing their job. They're just DPSing the heck out of enemies.
I can't.
Like it feels like our DPS just like skyrocketed in a singular room, which is great.
Damn it, one's come back.
Couldn't kill him in time, unfortunately. At least we're getting some HP from them. Oh no, the little carts are spawning. The flame wheels, as they're called, I suppose. I'm walking into a field of butterflies, and somehow that's not nearly as pleasant as it sounds. I don't know, did you find butterflies pleasant, Kiwi? I think they're pretty to look at sometimes, and other times, like, especially close-up shots, kind of ruin the experience for me, admittedly. You know what? Dash Nova might be useful here because I can use it defensively. It may also screw me over. I'm not sure which, but let's try it and see what happens.
Sharpened.
And then, ooh, I would love that Zeus boon, but Patroclus is so much more important here.
Oh, I'm not so certain about that. Are you quite sure?
You're here.
I am quite sure, Patroclus. I know you don't have the best self-confidence, but I do.
May all your
in you.
fears leave you behind once you walk past that door.
I guess it's not self-confidence. I have the best confidence in yourself. Kiss of Sticks, please.
Thanks, sir.
2 Death Defiances, refund, excellent. We take the HP here, I think. Yeah, the palm would give us more damage, but I want more survivability more than anything here, I think. Ooh, lots of flame wheels, while they are prone to doing a ton of damage to us, are also the best option for when we have the Eye of Lamia Well of Charon buff, because lots of enemies dying means lots of chances for them to give us HP. Although it somehow seems to be 0, despite a 15% chance of every enemy death giving you a HP. I don't seem to be getting a single one from them. I don't know if that's RNG or if they're just not programmed to give them. No, that can't be right, because we definitely got some from them earlier. I would love to see my cast gems come back to me. Thanks, game. There we go. Oh, there's still one more. Eesh. Now, I do actually acknowledge that maybe taking the lunge on my special wasn't the best, because it seems like I get hit out of that lunge, or in that special animation, if I take any damage at all, apparently. We will take Artemis, because she could potentially give us her legendary, which is huge if we get it.
I'm out.
Try and get Lightning Rod on the field as quick as possible, because that will kill a bunch of enemies for us, potentially. And if it crits, we get Hunter's Mark doing extra damage too, which is great. Still have not seen an Exit Wound, so if we do get that instead of her legendary, it's not the end of the world. Still, at this point, I think her legendary nets us... Does it actually net us more damage than Exit Wounds? That's a good question, actually. But I think we're fine. I say that a lot, and we're not always fine, admittedly. But what I will say is I will be very happy to see a legendary from Artemis if we are offered it. Yeah, okay, you know what? This lunging special is awful, because the enemies attack so quickly on my approach that I get canceled out of my special damage, so I don't get the effect. It doesn't hit, so I have to use it very carefully, I suppose, for it to be effective. I do wish the pickup radius for your cast gems was a little bit more reliable, honestly. It feels like I'm not very great at getting items picked up, despite me passing through them pretty clearly. Like, you have to be right on top of them to pick them up, it seems. I will say, though, Lightning Rod is doing work, like significant work, which I'm very glad for, because we need damage. We needed damage so badly. We're still really not doing great in terms of time, though, and I acknowledge that. We're, like, imagine if we hadn't gotten Lightning Rod. That would have been the biggest.
In the name of Hades.
Deadly Reversal. After you deflect, briefly gain 20% chance to deal crit damage. I think we take that, honestly. We're deflecting a lot of projectiles, so I think that's good. Hydrolite. Restore 5% HP when you enter a chamber. That would give us... 5% of 200 would be like 10, I think. So 30 HP gain from that isn't terrible, but it is not great considering it costs 81 coin. I think I'm going to sit on it. That might be a mistake. I think we take the coin here instead of the hammer. The coin can afford us another boon, potentially an Artemis or a Zeus that would carry the run. Now here is another situation where Lightning Rod really helps a ton, and that is the fact that these shielders block our cast, but they can't block Lightning Rod. So as long as I focus on taking out their little Revenant souls, I think I'm good. It would be cool if Lightning Rod could specifically target them, but it can't. It's random what enemy is targeted. But, whew. Alright, another wave, it's gonna be more shielders. Oh, bows, even better. My favorite enemy type. Actually, if I had a choice between bows and shields, I'd probably choose shields most of the time, or bows most of the time. The main issue is these guys are a pain in the butt to deal with in mass. But if it's a balancing act of archers and not archers, I can actually deal with that pretty well, I think. As long as these Revenants don't have armor on them, I can pop them with a single hit of the cast, because when they try to regenerate, it counts as an attack and they die to jolted.
Should fetch me something.
Alright, here's the end shot. We're going to take that. We'll take whatever HP they offer, unless there's a Zeus or Artemis boon, in which case we prioritize that. And there is an Artemis boon.
Always a pleasure, Charon.
There's a low-level exit wounds, but we will gladly take that. That's a pretty sizable damage up for us if we can use it well. And that's a big if, but on to the heroes fight. We've got 2 minutes, which is pretty sketchy sounding.
It's time, Asterius. Let us assert our greatness through single-minded combat.
Single-minded is a very good descriptor for you, Theseus. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm gonna try and focus down Asterius first, but admittedly, I think what's gonna happen is Asterius. I think honestly, I have to take out Theseus first. Oh, perfect! They're standing on top of each other. This is the Sisyphus moment. It's an excellent opportunity for some good damage, and a little bit of HP too, thanks to Sisyphus.
The adoration of the crowd.
Trying to get as many hits of exit wounds before I run out of deflects from the benefit of. Oh, cool. We phase Asterius. Excellent. Collecting all my cast gems where possible, tossing these into Asterius. Yeah, I'm trying. I acknowledge that I'm probably going to lose the Acorn before this fight is over. So taking whatever opportunity to get damage on Asterius from exit wounds with relative safety, the sooner the better. Because the more hits I take, the less I'm going to be able to do this reliably. Asterius. Okay, you know what? I feel like against trash mobs, this lunging special is really not that great, but against hold on 1 second, against bosses it actually feels pretty darn good.
You're next, King.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Ooh, well, I'm glad I dashed into that and didn't deflect a single shot. That doesn't feel good. All right, there we go. Asterius is phased. I'm gonna grab the coin while I can. I just chop all of my casts onto him.
Just hurry it up.
Honestly, maybe it's better if I just let Lightning Rod do the work here. Can't believe I dodged through all that, honestly. We lost the Death Defiance, darn. I think I just let him die to Lightning Rod here, honestly. I can use one cast because I've discovered that Lightning Rod can only hit twice on the same enemy. So it's very good for AoE. It's actually surprisingly good for AoE.
What a loudmouth. Thank you for your support, my shade.
We're going into Styx with very little time. This is a little sketchy. As far as what we do here, I think we take the Lucky Tooth for the extra HP it gives since we've consumed the Acorn at this point. So we have 3 Death Defiances. I can't afford a 4th. But if I sell something good here, I could sell Deadly Reversal. But that base crit chance is pretty substantial. It's only 2 seconds though, maybe it's not actually that worth it. And I'm not going to be deflecting a whole lot here. There are some other good boons that I could potentially sell instead. I'm certainly not, I will not lament the loss of Divine Flourish at this point, but the odds of us re-rolling to that and not losing something really important is too high. I do think I will sell Deadly Reversal here.
Ooh, that's cold.
And we'll take an Eye of Lamia again just for the HP it can bring, since we have a whole lot of gold net. We have a whole lot of obols thanks to having sold that duo boon. Who knows, maybe we'll get offered it again. I do think if I see any Athena, I will do her chamber or buy her from the shop last, because she could offer us another Death Defiance. We already got one of her 2 Death Defiance refunds, but she actually offers 2. It makes her kind of wild. All right, there's a high-level Artemis and a lower-level Zeus.
Where to?
And then another Artemis here and a hammer. I think we start with Artemis and roll for her legendary if we can get it. Because as I said before, that will be a pretty sizable damage up for us. Alternatively, if we do get her Deadly Reversal again, I won't complain about it. I don't know how much that crit chance was actually helping us in Theseus and Asterius' fight, but we definitely were reflecting some projectiles.
Can't do that.
Just depending on Lightning Rod as much as possible. I think, honestly, at this point, we could benefit from Zeus's Double Strike because it will affect Lightning Rod. I don't know if Lightning Rod is listed as a prerequisite for it, but even if it's not...
Not yet.
Well, I guess if it's not, there's no benefit to taking it, or there's no way to take it, rather. I feel like Eye of Lamia has much less than a 15% chance of dropping HP, honestly. It feels super unreliable to me. Oh gosh, I didn't see that rat spawn on top of me, unfortunate. The nice thing about Zeus's cast is that even if you miss the shot, if you angle it properly, it'll bounce into enemies, which makes it a lot harder to miss. But we are really hoping for a 2-chamber Styx. I think I should address that fact. Without a 2-chamber Styx, we're going to be in a pretty bad spot, all things considered. It also doesn't help that these rats are... Oh, no. I ran into a guillotine. That was avoidable. I hate that these enemies can also pop those guillotines on us. Look, it's really annoying that they are just like... These rats are very difficult for an exit wounds build because they just sit on your casts and drop poison on them, and then, well, what are you supposed to do? Just lose your main source of damage, especially if your main source of damage just pops into the middle of a room that you can't collect anymore. I guess I just settle for what damage I can deal.
No.
I need... No, Zagreus? No, I don't settle? Okay. Well, if you say so, you are the Prince of the Undead. Or the Prince of the Dead. Who's the Prince of the Undead? Oh gosh, I got hit by the poison. This is so rough, Kiwi. This is like one of the worst possible chamber layouts for us. Not only do they have the rats that counter us, they have the room layout where our cast gem can end up outside of the... out of bounds with no way of reclaiming it.
Can't do that.
Just trying to get my cast gems back. Please let me have them. I should drop a Sisyphus, maybe. Okay, we're killing things. We are killing things. I'm surprised I didn't get poisoned by that. I can use these traps to my advantage, but I have to be mindful of where they are so that I don't stand on them myself. Hit the wall on that. I am trying to use these traps to my advantage a little bit. This is a really slow chamber. It's just so hard to eat effectively. Ugh, and I clip the... See, I get hit by the poison just trying to pick up my cast stones. This is so rough. Alright, and this should be the last one. Oof.
For me...
I think that chamber took like a solid 2 minutes. That's really bad. I am going to re-roll here for the hopes of seeing her legendary.
What else we got?
We do not see it. I could re-roll again, because none of these boons do I particularly want. Yeah, I'm going to re-roll one more time. Come on, legendary. Nothing. Alright, Hidebreaker could be very helpful, I guess, if we crit against... Ugh, it's useless, honestly. It's only good against armor, but we'll take it. Maybe I can sell it for some coin and get something good out of it. We're in a sketchy situation here, Kiwi. I think I'm going to go for the HP, because I stand to benefit the most from that. We will probably, by natural effect, just gain enough coin to afford the Artemis boon there. I'm going to be very annoyed if she still doesn't give us her legendary at that one.
Not now.
Actually, maybe I save our coin until I get the Satyr Sack. That way, I potentially can afford a Death Defiance from the well if I can get one. I don't know. My hopes and dreams of this run are rapidly declining. I guess Double Strike from Zeus, we want that. Here's a Well of Charon. I can definitely afford a Death Defiance if we are offered it, and I don't have any rerolls anymore, so I can't roll for one. I guess we take another use of Boldy here, or I save the coin for the Artemis Spoon. I guess I save the coin for the Artemis Spoon, but I will drop Boldy in this room because he'll offer us a little bit of HP.
Sisyphus?
Heads up.
Still got clipped by that poison after all that, though. Unfortunate. And I got clipped again. I picked up the coin instead of the anti-poison. Kiwi, this is rough. This is really rough. Okay, good. Two chamber sticks is huge for us.
I can't.
We've got 3.5 minutes to beat Zeus, or beat... Why do I always get those two mixed up somehow? To beat Hades. There it is, fully loaded. Gain 2 extra gems for your cast. That is very good for our overall DPS. Very good for...
Cerberus accepts the prince's foul offering.
For damage from exit wounds, but I have to play out of my mind here. I have 2 Death Defiances and half my HP.
See you, boy.
It's possible. It is possible, but it doesn't feel great.
I'm here, Father. Come on.
I see it's time again that we begin our bloody business here.
That we do. Alright, I'm going to start by just throwing all of my casts at him, dodging whatever attack he brings at us, and then... And then special at him for the exit wound damage. Cool. Alright, this feels like a viable strategy, at least for now. I'll save Sisyphus probably for when I have more damage on me.
Can't do that.
Which probably means more damage on Hades. Alright, cool, we got a whole bunch of exit wounds. Unfortunately, he teleported out before I could get all of them off. Alright, whoop. We kill his allies here, I think. Chariots are super scary. I think I depend on lightning rod damage here for a little bit. Hey, hey. Okay, we need to kill the chariot first. No questions asked. One of the most frustrating enemies for me to deal with, honestly. Conveniently, it is dying to static discharge. We'll just let that cast stone get blow up. That's fine. Playing pretty well so far, and me saying that out loud now is probably doomed the run to failure, admittedly. Thankfully, no more chariots. We did get strongbows, which are equal parts annoying. Actually, just as annoying, honestly. Want to kill them as soon as possible. Maybe this is the point where I drop Goldie? I don't know. We've got a talking cat next to me, Kiwi. What do? I can't give her the attention she secretly wants, or not so secretly wants. Okay, we popped that. Let's get rid of these. Okay, his allies are done. I somehow didn't get hit by that, which is good. Try to pop what damage I can and get rid of these cast stones where possible. Oof, I was in the casting animation, so of course I would get clipped by that. Alright, that's phase 1 done. Lightning Rod is making up for a lot of our lack of damage here. And we didn't lose our Death Defiance. We're actually still able to take 2 full hits from Hades at this point, I think. I can't hold back Kiwi, according to Zagreus at least. I don't know where our cast gems wound up. But here is where Lightning Rod really shines, because he's taking Lightning Rod damage every time he uses those laser beams, because he can't move, and so he's just stuck tanking all that damage. I think we might have this, thankfully. Giving us a free chance to use our... Oh, I got clipped by that, unfortunately. Dash out, kill his cast gems. Lightning Rod just doing all the work, plus Jolted. Roma is very talkative right now. I don't know what's going on, but she is very chatty catty. Alright, we bank the shots or not. Apparently, they don't want to bank on him. I am dodging so many hits like that. Right, he's dropping another round of lasers, so we pop our cast into him and let Lightning Rod do its work. We're so close. Oh, lasers. Okay, we're good.
Oh no, the time.
Oh no, I forgot about the timer. Okay, dropping Sisyphus. I might have done that a little too early. I missed. Did he dash into that? I'm not sure. Alright, this is fine. Oh no. Okay, it's not perfectly fine. We've got 17 seconds. We can do this. Oh, more lasers. Oh, more lasers. Ah, I got hit by the lasers. Ah, shoot. I think we're fine, though. I genuinely think we're fine. I just have to bash him with a bunch of cast. Stop spamming your lasers! Okay, we did it. Oh, we did it.
Boy, you speak none of this to anyone.
My first ever 32 heat clear on the sword, while barely actually using the sword. Zeus cast carried this run.
No escape.
But there we go. 8 seconds.
Hypnos for me.
8.95 seconds left. That was sketchy. My heart is racing, but it feels good to get that kind of win on definitely my worst ever weapon option. Patroclus showing up was huge. We got, honestly, a lot of really important things early on. But honestly, Aspect of Poseidon fully loaded, Lightning Rod, of course, Zeus's cast. Is there anything else that really made or broke this build? I guess, why don't we honor Hermes for that boon? That helped a lot too. There we go. Our win streak continues.
Having somehow defeated Grim Lord Hades in a thrilling fight, Prince Zagreus discovers it was all a dream. A rather deadly nightmare, actually.
I'd rather this first ever sword victory at 32 heat not be a dream, though. But alright. Let's round out the house and go from there. But if you don't mind, I'm just going to step away from the computer a quick second. There's a turkey in the oven that's probably done. Be right back. Turkey needed like another 10 minutes, so we're back.
Among the countless splendid gemstones hidden underneath the earth, a great many are used to decorate the House of Hades, god of the dead, god of riches.
Is he really the god of riches? That seems weird.
There are a lot of gemstones here.
We do have a very opulent looking hallway from all of the things we've spent on it.
What are those shades muttering about?
She walked right out of the pool of sticks. I bet she's mad. Cause of death, blood clot. Sounds like he's talking about Meg.
I've got a survey here if you'd like to fill it out.
Although actually, I guess it is Electo who we beat on this run. No surveys for you, Hypnos.
Ready yourself, lad, and give it another attempt.
I will give it another attempt, but I am not doing 32 heat. I need a breather from that one.
I never stopped to think about why pomegranates grew here in the underworld. Mother's doing from before then. And all that stuff she told the Olympians about how they bind you to this place. It's all nonsense.
You know full well that the pomegranates in my realm hold a certain power beyond the tartness of their taste, boy. The Queen. She has a way with plants, you see. A bit of her own mother's gift, applied more sensibly.
So I saw my shoe in the corner of my eye. It's a black shoe, and I thought it was our cat, so I went to try and pet her, only to realize, oh, that's not my cat, that's my shoe.
You kept them growing all this time, flourishing even because of her.
They are very easy to maintain.
But that doesn't mean you had to maintain them, and I think that makes all the difference, Hades.
I'm quite preoccupied with singing all your praises, Zagreus.
Thanks, Orpheus.
Well, see you.
Alright, what have you got, broker? Ooh, 1 ambrosia for 500 darkness. Give that to me, please.
Could use some darkness.
We need a lot of darkness still.
Hypnos made the board.
Alright, let's turn in our fish.
Trade you these horrid things.
Keys and darkness. Excellent.
Done
250 darkness. Wow, we got 750 darkness all at once. That's pretty awesome.
They can't be reasoned with, Nyx. You know that. What use are they to us trying to manage this? They'll make things worse.
I feel like this is dialogue we're supposed to have about the Olympians before the epilogue happened, but we'll see.
They are your sisters.
Oh.
They are part of your life, whether you like it or not. Your relationship with them is yours to mold.
I was mistaken. Never mind, not even talking about the Olympians.
I'm afraid there isn't much for me to work with. You have a lot more faith in them than I do.
I have a lot more faith in you, Megara. There are many obstinate personalities with whom we regularly interact. Thus, we do what is possible.
I understand.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Deuce. I didn't see you there.
Nothing gets dirty around here while I am on the job, Your Highness.
Meg's relationship to her sisters is quite interesting, I have to say. Like, clearly it's not the healthiest interaction, but you do see them kind of respect each other when you have your fights against them in the little intro conversations, at least. We're getting slightly more tuned on that lyre. Actually, that would be a harp, wouldn't it? Never mind. All right, Skelly.
Come on, boy. I'll give me your best shot. It's my job.
All right. Well, Skelly, I think... Why don't we just punch you a little bit? I don't know what I'm going to run on the next run, Kiwi. The Dark Thirst wants us to do the gun, but the rail, but we have not used. We have had so many rail runs recently. I honestly might do another spear run just because I haven't gotten to use it much. But I guess that's something I'll decide on a whim in the next episode. With all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. And the next one, not 32 heat, but until then, I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Yep, that'll do it.